when you are singing, you are content creators. When people say content creators, they only think of bloggers. No. Singers are content creators. My speech I'm giving here, yourself, we are all creating content.
Those who create online games and all that, how do they protect their storyline, their characters in this AI-generated world?
The Bible.
Yeah.
No, there are different translations. Do they all have their individual, copyright?
How can musicians and songwriters protect their lyrics and melodies from an authorized sampling?
This is Bnoskka. Welcome back to Bnoskka IP Zone. And this day we want to look at episode 7. We want to look at how we want to integrate intellectual property in the creative industry and entertainment business world. And I have wonderful guests in the studio with me. And on my left is...
Oh, it's Margaret Doe, also known as Mex, and I'm a recording artist. It's nice meeting you all.
Okay. And on my right...
This is Irene Basson, a.k.a. Winnie Pearl.
Okay. All right. So thank you very much. They actually took my words in the other way. I said my left. My left was Irene, and my right was Mex.
You watched my video.
Yeah, but it was a trick. We are integrating IP into entertainment industry.
Giving me the signal that you want.
I intentionally did that so that we know that how people understand IP integration. I'm talking to my left, and I'm looking.
Oh, why didn't you do that?
Yes. So that is how intellectual property actually means. People think that you have an intellectual property and then it should translate into business onto you. No. Okay. So in the beginning, I want us to say that if you are watching me, please try and subscribe, share the link, and make sure you bring us your comment. This is episode 7. So if you have any questions that you think this is not answering, then try and look at episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And make sure you share it to your friends as well. Right, so today we want to look at how do intellectual property, which is for short IP, integrate in the entertainment industry or the creative industry. Now, so for example, let's start with movie. If you want to make a movie, somebody writes a book and that book is under copyright. So the one who has written the book, you don't just get up and pick anybody's book and translate into a script and then you start acting out. No. The law says that you need the right owner of the book. And to be able to do that, you need a written permission from him. That is authorizing you under contract. So that you say that, okay, in the next 20 years, I don't want anybody else to make another script apart from you. Let's say Uprise Music has gotten a book that Bnoskka I wrote. The book is titled Intellectual Articles of Serendipity. It's a book I published way back in 2010. And if you want to act out that movie, that book into a movie, then you need a written permission from me. Because as long as I am alive, I have to enjoy every money that will come out from that book in every way. People photocopying it, people who are singing it, people who are making movie out of it. I am supposed to enjoy. And when I die, 70 years, before 70 years, my children or my great-grandchildren should also enjoy. Then after 70 years, it's become public domain, free for everybody to use. Then you can do that. But as long as I am here, I am not gone yet. And then even if I'm 70 years has not even come. So I am still have to authorize you. So in that aspect, then whoever also that picks that book after gotten the right from me and transcribes it into a script, that person also now owns a new medium because he has gotten first the permission from me. So under the copyright law, we will have what we call the author, the original author, and then somebody who has made an arrangement of the author getting the right owner's consent. So it becomes what we call a derivative work. Derivative from the word derived. So you have gotten the right from me, permission to go ahead and write a script out of it. When you finish, you can register that script because you have authorization from me, from my book. Then you can register your work under the category of copyright. We'll call it derivative works, because it's not original, it is not new, it is already existing, and you have transformed it from one form to another, which is from a book to a script for movie. So when you do that, and the movie is also acted, when the pictures of the movies, all the moving pictures put together with the sound and everything is done, you can also still register that one also new as audio visual. Okay. You see, so copyright, we have book, which is literary work. We have the music, which is sound recording. If it is the music script, then we call it musical work. Okay. If it is a script written, it becomes a literary work. If it's a video, a movie, it becomes audiovisual because it has both pictures and sound. So audiovisual together. If it is the drawings within the movie and everything, that one goes into artistic expressions. So you can also seek rights over it. So intellectual property in every aspect of our lives has a right, and it is integrated. Now, you pick a camera, you pick a microphone, and you're making a movie. The camera you bought, the one who created that camera has no right over again. Once you make what we call first purchase, you have bought the microphone. His right ended at the time you paid for it. So he cannot come and say that, oh, you acted this movie with my Canon or Olympic or Sony or Panasonic or Samsung camera, and so you have to come and pay me some money. No, it ends there. So whatever you use, that whatever you bought, whether a pen drive or a microphone or a camera or light, these days movie light is very, very important. Like in our studio, I can count like almost getting to 100 lights. I can't even count all. It's plenty, lovely, nice and beautiful all over everywhere. And there's even some big ones up here. You are not in the studio, so you can't see. All these ones, we bought them. The owner cannot come and ask any money again because our right of first purchase has ended. So that is how it works, and it's integrated in it. But you can't also go and rent an equipment and then use it for production and say, I will not pay. Because it is the person's also right. If you rent somebody's equipment into making movie, music, or anything, you have to pay. Because that property of his right has also integrated into your work. Okay? Now, let's move on. Let's assume that you make a movie and you go to a specific site and then you go and create your movie there. And you say that, okay, from henceforth, I am the one, I went to Achua Mountains, I made a movie, so nobody should come to Achua Mountains again. I'm sorry. You can't do that. The integration of the law says that everybody has equal right over every place. But if you go and you make the place look new with your own lights, with your own arrangement, you mount a big giant screen or whatever, a design or whatever you do, when you finish, you remove everything, okay? Because somebody else can also come and use the place. So that is how it is. And if you watch foreign movies, they try to look for a specific place. It's so difficult for people to go there. And then they shoot a movie. When they finish, they go. If you also have money, go there and do your movie. So these are integration of how ideas goes about. Now, everything that we produce in this entertainment and the business world has got to do with money. That is why it is known as business. And in business, somebody invests. Somebody invests in one, the artists who are going to be part of the production. You pay them. So there are processes whereby the person's talent, the way she sings, like Rini Pearl, the way she sings, she has a very high pitch. She can even go to C5, G5 range and even come as low as maybe C4. That kind of talent, when you, ask her to be part of your production and she sings for you, if the contract is that at every sale of the product, you have 5%, that is a contract, then it means you have contracted the person to be part of your production to enjoy royalties that will come out of your work. But if you employ the person as an employed author, Rini Pearl, please come and sing for me. How much will you charge me for this production? And I don't have to deal with you again. Then she said, okay, give me $50,000 or 100,000 Ghana cedis or 500,000 Ghana cedis. When you finish, it's done. Whether the song makes a hit and it is trending with 3 billion views on YouTube is none of your business, because she has contributed her talent or creativity within your work, and she was on the basis of a contract we call employed author. You have been employed. We've paid you. Your money is finished. So whatever money you make out of that creation, she cannot come back and say that I owe right in it. Yes, of course, her image will be in it. So sometimes it becomes that. I have examples of where somebody contracted somebody. Come and let us collaborate to create a song. Oh, I charge you 5,000 Ghana cedis. Then you come and sing. Now the song is trending. Okay, come and let's make a music video. You say no, unless you pay me another money again. So the person will not show up. Then you have to make the music video without the person. In law, there's nothing wrong with it. The services was for audio. If you had added video, then you would have a case, because it's a business. And in business contracts, in Ghana, we have a contract at 972, so 992, so 993, I've forgotten. But we have a contract act which says that every contract has 5 things. 1, the contract should have terms and conditions. And the terms and conditions works in every creative industry, because it's about things that we are going to create together. 2, the contract should have considerations. What is the benefit you are going to get? I'm going to be part of this production. What do I stand to benefit? So it should be written down so that when you sign, you will not change your mind. A contract should have a duration. How long is my music video going to be in your hand? For example, you contract Upright Music, publish my song for them, distribute my songs for them. At which rate would they do that for you? If it is to distribute once and for all, they finish, they've done. Once they execute that, case die. Okay? Or if it's about publishing and getting right over it, then the contract you sign, if it is for 15 years, it's for 20 years. You cannot just wake up one day and change your mind. Drop my songs and let me publish it somewhere else. It doesn't work that way, because it's a contract and the duration needs to be respected. Okay? If you breach, you can be taken to the law court, and the law court will listen and make a case out of that. 2, 3, 4, you should be what we call have the capacity to contract. So in law, in this entertainment business, if you are less than 18 years, you cannot engage in a contract. Okay? But if an elder person engages in a contract with a minor, the minor has more advantage over the elder. If the minor is able to execute part of their contract, you, the elderly person, cannot say that I will not pay you. When it goes to court, what's a memorable? Meaning you'll be at a disadvantage. But if you go in agreement with a child who is less than 18 years, and the child failed to bargain or make sure they fail to follow their part of the contract, that one, it is a disadvantage to you, the elder person, because they don't have capacity to contract. So, for example, if you are a child and if you made a song and you want to come to Upright to come and publish, you need to come with your father or your mother. Okay. They will have to sign the contract on your behalf. That is what the law says. When you are less than 18 years, you cannot engage in business. So that is how it goes. So sometimes you can even write a book, but to be able to sell the book and make money, somebody who is less than 18 years should open bank account, set up a business for you, and run it until you reach the age of 18. This is what the law says. Now also, every contract should have what we call foreclosures. Foreclosures here simply means closing the contract or ending the contract. Okay? So, or some people even call it exit clauses or an exit clause. So, when should the contract come to an end? When the contract comes to an end, what should be done? Okay, when we come to an end, we finish the production, you pick your bag, pick your this, and you go away. Or I will leave my bag here, come and pick it tomorrow. Okay, these are conditions you need to be spelled. For example, when we come and record the song, when would the video recording be done? And when it is done, what right do I have over it? If you don't claim any right, once it's finished, it's finished. You finish, it's gone. You cannot come back and say that I don't like the quality of the video, so drop it down because my image is in it. No, I'm sorry. In law, it is not like that. You can only ask for the video to be dropped if the production is promoting something is against your moral, like your name being associated with it. If you check one of our episodes, we spoke about moral rights. So you can go back and watch that video. So all these things are things that integrate. But see, if you have an idea to create a special life effect on stage to make people's production better, you better find a way to patent it. If you have an idea, a special song, a chorus, you think this chorus will be catchy, keep it to yourself till you record it. Because the more you share it, before you know, somebody has run with it. And then also try as much as possible to limit your talking about your ideas you have in your head. Because when that idea is gone, it is not protected. By law, copyright protects fixation. Fixation here means things which are written or in any retrievable medium. That's what the law protects you. But ideas about how to do things, that goes under patent. As for images to identify a particular brand, a product or service, that is trademark. And if you have any idea of to create some special flower nobody knows, then you have a plant variety and a patent. Then if you have a design that you think this kind of design will sell or make what they call industrial capabilities, then go and seek for industrial designs right over your creativity. And this is how I want to end here and ask my wonderful, beautiful ladies in the studio to make their comment, and those of you also in the audience to ask questions if you do. This is Bnoskka, and you are welcome to my 7th episode of Bnoskka IP Zone. Yes.
Okay, so Bnoskka. And my first question will be about gamers. So you were talking about it, but I didn't hear you mention about those who create online games and all that.
Okay.
Now, how do they protect their storyline, their characters in this AI-generated world that we are in?
That's fantastic. Yeah. Right, so if you are a game maker, you first thing you need to do is to make sure that you have registered your game with a name. So you have trademark protection. For example, if you look at DreamWorks, Zingaro Production in Ghana, and a lot, Disney World, and all that, Pixel, all these are names, and they are people who makes games. So you make sure that you have registered. Even we have Black Magic, they also make products and services. You have to make sure that you have protected that. Then if you have a specific name, for example, there's a new terminology that people registered in US under trademark called Hakuna Matata. It's a cartoon. And they took that word from Swahili and they trademark it. So you can't just make a movie and call that name in it. Okay? If you look at another movie called The Lion King, so the name of the Lion King's son has been trademarked. You can't go about and change it, okay? And then also, for example, there was one company that made a movie and they even trademark their sound like that, a sound, and they trademark it and they have recording to prove. And this mobile phone, Nokia, they have trademarked that kind of sound. So all it needs to be done is to go and register and seek protection for it. More questions?
And so like I'm just thinking about the Bible.
Yeah.
There are different verse translations.
Yeah.
Do they all have their individual like copyright? Basically, it's the same Bible, but maybe changing words. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So the first Bible that was ever written during Constantine's time was a compilation of all the stories about the creation of the world from the Hebrews to the modern day Christians and the Jewish people. That time, that Bible was not in English. In fact, there was no English version in it. It was by Aramaic, Hebrew, Greek, and Latin, because that was the language that had conquered the Jewish, and they had written their words And so they compiled it and then made a Bible out of it. The first English version of the Bible that came was done by the English king. His name was called King James. So that was the first Bible that was ever translated into English. And even before that, history has made us to know that in the year 1535, one man called William Tyndale made an attempt to translate the Bible into English. And before that time, it was a taboo. I mean, it was against the law to translate the Bible into English. If you do, they catch you, they kill you. So this young man began to translate the Bible into English and be sharing to people for free. And people were saying, oh, it's good. But, you know, they didn't like it at that time. And because the king had the right over it, they chased this guy and eventually they caught him in Belgium. And they burnt him alive. As he was being burned, he said, oh God, open the eyes of the king to see that what I'm doing is not evil. But today, all these things are no more. And that copyright of that first Bible in English only had the copyright duration of 70 years. Okay. So that 70 years has passed. But you cannot reprint King James and claim it is your own. No. So what people do is a revised version, new standard version, living version, what. So you only have to look at the text, pick it, change the way the grammar appears in the text, and then put your name on it. So we have the revised version, we have the standard version, we have even King James themselves have revised. And if you want to make your own Bible too, you can pick the text, change one or two. There's one in there's a what pigeon. Yeah. It's possible you can do it. Yes, small question.
Okay, so how can musicians and songwriters protect their lyrics and melodies from an authorized sampling?
Authorized sampling. Okay, all right. So lyrics also falls under copyright. And these days, you can even get money from your lyrics. Yeah. Yes, if you create a song like your song, all things are possible. You can write all out the lyrics, and then we can code that lyrics into the system so that when everybody wants to do karaoke, they can look at your works, and the more they play, the more you get money for that. The protection aspect of it is that it is for you to be able to identify people using it wrongly without your interest, and then you file for court injunction to get money from them. As for protection, don't expect Copyright Office to protect for you. No, the law does not mandate them. Don't expect police people to be asking people whether they are using your song right or not. It is also not in their purview. And don't expect that people will work in your interest. People will always want to make money out of you. So try as much as possible to protect it by yourself. And then I also want to say that, in this intellectual property thing, it's like every day, new things are coming out. And so once new things are coming out, these days we have artificial intelligence. It's able to sample people's songs and those things and make it new. If you do that, you have to make sure that it is new and original. Else, you may go to court and you'll be told that this one existed already. Okay? And before you would also pick somebody's song. And then let's say all this impossible, you pick the song and you say, I want to make a cover version because it's part of the industry. Please, it's not allowed. Okay. Make sure you have the person's consent. I want to make a cover version of your song. Would you grant me? Then it should be under a written document so that tomorrow, if it goes up into court, you can have something to pledge on. Yes, small questions.
So concerning AI, the artificial intelligence, we know now that when you input certain words, it can tell you. Some can even write songs for you with AI.
Yep.
Now, when it happens like that, who claims the ownership?
Okay. So the third, all these AIs are owned by companies, people who owns them. And these people will always make sure that you are click and you agree to terms and conditions before you use them. Okay. Have you noticed?
Oh, yes.
Yes. So once you click to their terms and conditions, if you have time, go through and read all the terms and conditions. You would know who owns the rights in whatever you are using the thing for. Let me give you an example. You realize that these days there are music, if people want to create music, like you can have to have your own guitarist, your own keyboardist, your own drummer. Then they play an authentic, what they call acoustic sounds for you. But these days, no, you go on the internet, you go on the applications like Acapella, Cubase, Fruity Loops, and then you get sampled sounds, beat, drum, you this way, and then you add it to it. When you finish and you upload your songs, unfortunately, you don't have 100% ownership. Okay. You may not know, but in the back end, those companies that created those sounds, like these days, there is even a drum, a lock drum in it. Yeah. You are hearing it. All those ones, those who created them and put them on those applications you have purchased and you are using, they have a percentage of a right ownership in it. And we call it mechanical right. Yeah. You may not see it, but they are getting benefit. There's one guy in Nigeria called Techno. All he does is to create beats. He creating beats for Yamaha company in Japan, and he's making huge amounts of money. And you are using them. You think they don't want to get money? They are getting money. So it's a good business.
So does it mean that indirectly they are getting money without you knowing? Because sometimes you purchase those apps with money.
Yes,
right?
you purchase.
So when you purchase the apps, are you not purchasing it with everything that it comes with?
You agree to the terms and conditions. So you have to look at the terms and conditions and find out if you owe 100% of it. Okay. You see, intellectual property says that once you create something, you don't enjoy exclusivity. Unless you are the same person who played the organ, you are the same person who played the guitar, you're the same person who plays the drum, you are the same person who did claps. Even if you brought a dog and a dog barked and it came into your sound, the dog has an ownership in your song. Yeah. So that is the integration. You see, everybody's creativity coming together to make a money. And it should be that everybody should enjoy equally and fairly. Right. More questions?
Like, you said everybody should like enjoy equally and fairly. What about like recording artists bringing backing vocals?
Yeah.
Are they like, some of them, they actually come and create like maybe very unique harmonies, and contribute to the song being a hit. They didn't write the music, so they can't say they are the composers.
Yeah.
But you don't have the right to perform that part of...
No, they have a right when your song is being played and royalties are being paid. Okay. We call them in law, part players. Okay. They played a part in your song and their contribution made your work to come out to look that way. Yeah. Okay, so even if you go to copyright to register, they will ask you who are the backing vocalists. You have to provide their names. And when you are also... Yes, you do. I'm sorry.
Okay, then.
They do. You have you been to the copyright office?
Yes, I
They will provide you the information. They will give you a form to fill. And you will have to tell them. You have to tell them. And unfortunately, if you don't give the right information, tomorrow it will go against you. Right. So try and make sure that you acknowledge anybody's contribution. And one thing that I want to make here clear is that split agreement. Make sure that in every production you do, all the people who contributed, sign a split sheet with them. If they have 0%, let them know and sign against their name. I have 0% from this work. After you collected your money, you have 0. If they have 5%, you pay them 5,000 and they still want 10%, let them sign so that they know that 10%. And when you go to publish your song, come out with this split sheet so that it will be added to your song to justify who and who owns work in your thing. And today, let me say this, your mobile phone, this one, when it is coming into Ghana, government charges mechanical rights over the phone because, yes, big tax to be given to musicians and content producers in the country. And it's done all over the world. All over the world.
But how come I've not heard content creators in Ghana?
Yes.
They have gotten the money from the mechanical.
Because you have not registered to become a content creator. For example, GAMRO, Ghana Music Rights Organization. When you are saying you are content creators, when people say content creators, they only think of bloggers. No. Singers are content creators. My speech I'm giving here, yourself, we are all creating content. Okay? So if it's about music, go and join the Ghana Music Rights Organization. If it's about book publishing, myself, I'm a book writer. Yeah. I'm a member of Ghana Reprographic Rights Organization, for short, called Copy Ghana. Yeah. Okay? So these are all content creations, and it integrates. And this is how time...
So do they pay you?
Yes, they pay me. Every year I get a royalties payment. Okay. Yes, so if you want...
to your bank account?
Yes, please, they do. And they even send me mobile. Yes, so this is how time... Thank you very much. This is how time will allow us. This is our 7th episode of Bnoskka IP Zone, and it's brought to you by Uprise Music. We are here to publish your music. We are here to distribute your music. We are here to make sure that you get value for what you create. If it's about music video, come. We have a wonderful gadget we'll create for you. Subscribe and share and make sure that you follow. And this is Bnoskka. I'm telling you.